You might be wondering if it's actually possible to rewire your mindset in a short period, such as 3 days, especially if you've experienced some type of ineffective help in the past from some other conventional methods such as talk therapy, maybe meditation, or even journaling. And that's perfectly natural. That's okay. A lot of us actually experience that. So did I. But as an ambitious person, as a high performer, you might easily begin to understand that it shouldn't take that much effort. It shouldn't be that challenging or difficult to rewire something internally in the mindset so that we can perform better and perform at our peak, the peak that we know we are capable of achieving. And so, in a 3 day period, we are going to explain how you can understand what it is you need to do so that you can begin the process of rewiring your own mind. And here's the thing, it's possible to rewire the mindset even faster than 3 days. There are very specific tools that are out there, and they work pretty surprisingly well. And you can go and learn these techniques in conferences. You can learn these techniques online, for example. You can hire a coach to learn these techniques or for someone to do on you. However, there are things that you can do yourself, and I'm going to explain in this video an outline for how you can handle this process in just 3 days. Hey guys, my name is Andre, and I spent years looking for the best tools to rewire my own mindset, my own psyche, because I had plenty of limiting beliefs and mindsets holding me back from what I wanted to accomplish. And so I'm going to break down for you a shortcut so you can start right away in the specific things you need to do if you are looking to rewire your mind. Let's dive in. So, as you sit there and you're watching this video, you're going to begin to realize the simplicity of what it is that I'm talking about and how you actually can rewire the mind in just a few days. So, let's start with day number one. Day number one is important before you start with anything, especially on some type of journey. You want to have some type of map of where you're going. And so, day one is going to be focused on you building out your map. Where are you? Where do you want to go? Specifically, where are you? What are the things you want to change? Because if you don't know where you are, even if you know where you want to go, you're not going to know the direction to move in. And so, day one is all about awareness. We're going to start building your awareness so that you can know exactly the things that you want to change, that you want to shift. And we have to be specific. We can't just be generalizing, oh, I just wish I was happy. Or, oh, I just wish this judgment was gone. We want to be a little bit more, or enough, specifically more, significantly more specific than just a generalized anxiety, generalized judgment, for example. So here's what you do in day number one. Have some type of pocket notebook. You can use a note on your phone. Of course, that's viable as well. You want to have something where you can write down your thoughts throughout the day. So on day one, you're going to start noticing the things that you want to shift, specifically things that you don't want anymore, things you want to get rid of, things you want to let go of. If you go through the day, someone cuts you off, you get angry, and then a second later, you're like, man, I wish I didn't get angry at stuff like that anymore. That's the type of thing you want to write down. Or someone tells something to you, some family member, some friend, some whoever, and they say something and it like gets you on, it affects you and you lash out back at them. And then after the whole situation, you're like, man, that was a waste of my energy. I didn't need to lash out at that person. Go ahead and jot that down. What was that mindset? What was the belief, the words that ran through your head the second before you lashed out? And that if they were gone, if that energy was taken from them, you wouldn't have done that and you would have been different. Or if you're working on some project, you're working on building your business, working on something for your work, for your career, for some project, and it doesn't go the way you want, or it doesn't go at all because something didn't happen that was supposed to happen. What was the mindset there that kept it from happening the way it was supposed to? This is what day one is about. Day one is about understanding where we are so that we can change in the way that we want to and remove the things that we want to. Because I'll tell you the secret here, it's all about removal. The key for now is removal. And we're going to swap in other beliefs later that's a little bit more advanced. But we want to remove things that are in the way. That's what day 1 is about. And then if you have time during day 1, you can start doing homework for day 2. And so day 2 is where we're going to actually do the techniques. We're actually going to do the changing. And here's how day 2 is going to look. You're going to have to learn and do the research on how to do the techniques. And there's not enough time in this YouTube video for me to go through all of them because there are a handful. There are several handfuls, but there are 2 specific approaches you can take to the techniques. In another video, I talked about a map of becoming a better version of yourself. And I'm going to explain more about this in a future video because I've mapped out. You can start from the left side and the right and work your way left to right. So you can see, oh, this is where my problem is. This is what it's affecting. This is the tool I need to use. I don't have it finalized yet. I briefly started talking about it in another video. And so as you have your list, we need to know which tool to use. Don't worry so much about which one. The 2 I'm going to mention now are both effective. You can explore with both of them. Take that as something in day 2 as you go on this experience for the first time. The 2 areas, the 2 camps you can pick are body and somatic based tools that help with the nervous system. And the nervous system is what processes all our emotions. It's connected to the brain, which drives our thoughts. A lot of things are stored energetically in the body and the nervous system in a way where working on the nervous system calms that down and de-energizes a lot of those thoughts. And then the other camp over here on the right, or I guess on your left in the video, is and what's in the world of neurolinguistic programming. And rather than being a nervous system, body, somatic based tool, it is a mental, linguistic, subconscious mind based tool. Also, very powerful. It's really interesting to see the things that people can overcome in such a short period of time using tools like neurolinguistic programming. And it's really interesting to see the types of long-term patterns that people have that they are able to let go of as they chip away at them with somatic-based tools because they get encoded in the body in a hardware type of way. And NLP is more of like a software type of tool. So we've got 2 approaches here depending on what you're working with. So a little bit of homework during day 2 and maybe before day 2 so that you can spend your day 2 using these tools, either some somatics. This is what my MindWorks program is about. I teach these tools. I teach the ones that I found for myself. I had to come up with them, and they're pretty powerful once you learn them. And the other camp you can use is neurolinguistic programming type tools. There's a handful. There's things like mapping, anchoring, swish. There are several that you can use here, and you can learn what these are and use them on your own. Honestly, it's more effective, especially the first few times, that you have someone walk you through it so that you don't have to be thinking about what you're doing. But it's still effective. And so day 2 is going to be spent throughout the day. You don't want to just jam it all out and, try and get everything on your list in 2 hours. You don't have to do it that way. Start at the top of the list. Start with the first one. Realize, okay, I'm going to process this. Pick your tool and go ahead and go through it. And it's only going to take 10 minutes. It's only going to take about 10 minutes, depending on the tool you use. Different ones can take 10, even if it takes 20 or 30 per line item. Okay, we're going to have day 2 be going through our list. As you go through the list, you're going to go through them one by one by one by one. And don't worry if you don't get through the whole list. And don't worry if you get through the whole list and say, well, this was dumb, it didn't work. There's layers to the mind and the psyche. Having the tools and knowing what they are is way more powerful than knocking everything out in a single day. You can empower yourself to be the top human you know you can be, hence the name of my channel. So day 2 is going to be spent working down your list one by one by one. You can do it throughout the day. You can do it between meetings. You can do it at any time that's convenient for you. And so as day 2, we process through the things. And some of them you might want to do again, right? And that's the same way these tools work is you want to repeat the same line item until you're like, yeah, okay, it's gone. And that's NLP is really cool for that. So day 2 is going to be processing. After you process on day 3, we're basically going to integrate into, the world and your routine and everything. You're going to integrate and you're going to see how you feel, see what's different, see how much charge has been released from all of those mindsets you wanted to get rid of. And if you want to revisit any, you can do that on day 3. And the way you revisit them on day 3 is the same way you did it in day 2. It's very simple. It's very simple. And someone who's watching a video like this, you're the type of person who's curious and ambitious and wants to have change happen in their life. So you can do this. You know you can do this. It's just a matter of doing the appropriate step at the right time, doing the homework, understanding what it is, so that you know the tools that you need to use. That's the basics of this 3-day challenge. It's taken me years to figure out which tools to use when, developing the ones that I need to develop, and realizing that everyone is different. And this is something that is challenging to know when you're going through this type of process, and challenging for anyone that wants to change as fast as possible. We all want to change at the snap of our fingers. Some people can. I've seen it. Some of us have challenges and obstacles that are invisible along the way. And that's okay too. That could be a lot of blockage. It could be a lot of stored tension in the body. It can be just a lot of being in your head and not actually in your body. Different things will get in the way of different tools. And so it depends on the state of your body. It depends on the ability of you to direct your mind in order to do the tools. And so some people might get this right away because their state is overall more optimal than others. Doesn't mean anything is wrong with anybody. Nothing's wrong with you. It's just a state that you're in based on what you've experienced in the past. I was in a pretty bad state. My body was super tense and tight and stressed and all the things. My mind was just running like crazy, super loud, a lot of inner chaos. I had a lot of work to do to get to where I am today. And so you might be in a different place. Chances are you're in a better spot than I was. Most people I've met along the way, I'm like, man, I was in a pretty bad spot because everyone else I'm with now, even some of them are doing better than me. And I know I still have work to do. And so I knew back then, I was like, man, I've got a lot of work to do. And that was 7 years ago. So it's been a really interesting journey. And along that way, I found that there are very powerful tools you can use to have change happen in a very short amount of time. It just matters. It depends on how well you know the tools, or can you find someone who can run it for you or with you, and what is the state that your body and your mind is in. And is it something that's ready and open for change, or is there still a lot of resistance? And what you're going to notice as you go through your list, depending on how deeply they hit home, there might be resistance to letting some of these go. And it might not be conscious resistance. There might be subconscious resistance. There might be nervous somatic resistance of wanting to hold on to things, because this is why it's so hard to let go. Bad energy, negative energy is sticky, and it just gets held in the body and the subconscious, and it's sticky and it's stuck and it's there, and you can't just like pull it out with your hand. Like, no, it's so ingrained, and we can uningrain it. You just have to be ready for it. And being ready for it means different things to different people. So that's the process. Day 1, we build the map. We become aware of what it is. We list things out step by step. And if we need to, we do research and homework for what it is on day 2 for how we're going to tackle these using the techniques that I mentioned earlier. I'm sure you can handle this. You've had homework before. You can do the work. You've got this. Day 2, we do the work. You don't have to do it all in one go. You're going to step by step, line by line, go through your beliefs, go through the mindsets that you want to change. Remember, they have to be specific, and you're going to knock them out throughout the day. And then day 3, you're going to integrate. You're going to see how you feel, see what's different, and you're going to revisit any of the mindsets from day 2, that still have some type of lingering effect. And here's what might happen on day 3. You're going to experience this. What you're going to experience is there's layers. And I don't know if I mentioned this earlier in the video, but as you pull back one layer because of a mindset that you eliminated, don't be surprised when this happens to you. It's a natural thing. You're going to feel the next layer. And it's a deeper layer. So you're going to get the low hanging fruit, and then the middle hanging fruit are going to be there next. So you're going to remove something, and then something else is going to feel like, oh, that just took its place. And that's okay. It's actually a good thing. You want that to happen. Why? It means you did the work here, and you're encountering the next thing. And so it's not like you spend 3 days, to be honest, just going to say it. It's not, you're going to not spend it 3 days and then all of a sudden you're the happiest person, you're the most successful person you know, and now you have clients and business and your bank account has 6 figures in it or 7. We peel back layers of ourselves. And the key is to focus on removing the layers we don't want so that we can then add in the layers that we do want. And as we remove the layers we don't want, we become more of ourselves. And there's years of baggage and years of this onion that surround our true self. And so on day 1, we're going to write out what comes to mind. Let's say you do this very effectively on day 2 and on day 3. Come back a week later, go again on day 1, you're going to have a whole different list because you've peeled away that first outer layer. And now there's different layers to the mindsets that you have in level 2 or on the second time you visit. They might be more specific than the first time you did it. They might be totally different than the first time you did it. It doesn't matter. What matters is you keep going forward and you keep progressing. So I hope this video was helpful. I know we covered a lot today. Go ahead and drop a comment below if this resonated. Let me know where you're at. If you want help along your journey to rewiring your mindset or calming down and resetting the nervous system, because that's behind all of this, go ahead and find the link in this video. It's somewhere in the description below. And click it, contact me, fill in the form, whatever it is, and get in touch. Because this goes a lot faster, a heck of a lot faster, when you have someone on your side and coaching you along the way, someone who's been there before successfully. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful for you, and I will see you in the next one.